What's up, you myth maniacs?
And you legend lovers, welcome to Tales of Myths and Legends.
Where we have the juiciest of myths.
And the slimiest of legends.
Today, we will be deviating from our normal video, I suppose, and creating our own myth. So, stories of old myths, they're just that.
Gone.
Old. Gone.
In the past.
Out the window.
Let's go.
They're your grandpa's myths. We're gonna make some fresh new myths, okay? Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So first we're going to start, we got a list of things that we are going to start with. We are going to do a number generator on abilities, names, the beings, so like trolls, elves, stuff like that, time zones, and also like places. So we did like
Country of
USA,
origin.
Germany, France, stuff like that.
Stuff like that.
So we are going to start with a name. I got a name generator right here on my phone.
Indeedy do.
Actually, we're gonna flip for male or female because it asked me for names. So
Oh yeah,
let's
so
go
male or female first?
male or female. I'm gonna flip this quarter. Heads, female. It's tails, so it's gonna be a male.
We're going with a male. And
We'll do
the
generator.
name.
Names.
of
Okay,
the
so
myth.
I've got a list of 10 names on my phone. 6.
So
So
the
3.
sixth name
6.
on the list will be
Chutney Ginger Fluff. Chutney
Write that
Ginger.
down.
I'm right.
Write
I'm gonna
that
write this down.
Chutney Ginger Fluff. Don't count him out. He is one of the most dangerous myths you will. Well, we don't know it yet. We're going to see, but he's going to be a wonderful myth. Good old Ginger Fluff.
Okay, so and another one I didn't mention was evil or good.
Yes.
So is this gonna be a good guy or bad guy now? Heads evil. It's evil. Chutney Ginger Fluff
With
is
a name like that,
evil.
I would be evil. Okay.
The
Listen.
deadliest person alive is last name's Ginger Fluff.
Yeah, makes sense to me. I would be cruel and murderous and
At least the first name,
Traumatized?
it's somewhat normal. Chutney.
Chutney.
I mean, that's something you could possibly hear somewhere around the world.
I guess somewhere around
I
there.
mean, just it's better than being called North or South or East and West.
Is it? Is it?
I would prefer Chutney.
Okay, so Chutney Ginger Fluff. He is evil, of course.
And
now,
it is a he. I'm writing
is
that
a
down.
he.
It's a he.
Mr. Male Chutney Ginger Fluff.
Okay,
the
now
evil one.
We have
So we roll for country of origin.
7. What is
7.
our 7? Where are we?
We have.
We are going to be in the UK.
It kind of sounds like a UK name.
Chutney.
Chutney Ginger Fluff.
Not bad.
Chutney Ginger
Yeah, I don't
Fluff.
know about the ginger fluff,
I
but
don't know. Chutney Ginger Fluff of the UK, an evil man. So now we need to, what time did he live in? Because that's
5.
So
We are in the Roman Empire, guys. Roman
the
ages.
Roman age. Mr. Chutney Ginger Fluff.
Part
lived
of
in
the
Roman
UK.
age. Okay, okay.
Or UK, I guess, raising ideas. Or
This is going a place. This is going a place. It's all coming together.
Okay.
Halfway through the list.
So,
So we have
we got a
2 more. We
weakness.
have weakness. So hit me with.
We'll do 1 weakness and 2 abilities.
1 weakness and 2.
1 weakness coming up. 10.
Number 10. His weakness is needles.
Needles. No needles. No sharp objects.
No needles.
Sorry.
Nor sharp objects.
Is it just sharp objects or needles?
Let's go sharp objects.
Sharp objects. Okay, so don't pull your pocket out on Mr. Ginger Fluff. Or I guess he's bad. So yeah, pull your knife out.
Definitely pull your knife out of Mr. Ginger Fluff.
Ability 9.
9 would be intelligence.
Oh,
He has a
crap,
high
Ginger
level
Fluff.
of intelligence.
With that name, he better be smart.
He better be. That's the only thing. The only thing he's got going for him.
Then we got number 3, his second ability.
Number 3, he's like, so he's crazy fast.
Crazy fast. So we got super speed, kind of.
Cool.
Or is he going to be like as fast as a Flash?
No.
Okay.
Just fast. You know.
So
30 miles an hour.
3 times human, maybe.
Probably. Yeah.
Like not even Mach 1 yet.
No.
Okay.
Nowhere near.
Okay.
He
So
can just
we got-
chase you down. So don't run from Mr. Ginger Fluff.
So
Just pull out the
he'll
pocket knife.
yeah,
You'll be good.
he'll get scared, run away, hide in a hole, whatever.
Yep.
So, all right. So we got this down.
So we have Mr. Ginger Fluff from the UK, which lived in the Roman era. He hates needles, loves reading books, and loves going for his morning runs. Have I missed anything? He's evil.
He's evil.
Okay,
His
cool.
name's Chutney Ginger Fluff.
Mhm.
I was just thinking, we're in the Roman era, right? Everybody has swords.
So you're telling me he's mortal?
So, I guess he can run away. He's got the fact that he can run away.
Well, he can dodge.
Yeah, so I mean, he'll be able to still fight you, but like give an army. I mean, the Roman army will kill Ginger Fluff unless he just runs and hides.
That's true.
Yes, we will be creating a story. We'll just be back and forth, brainstorming and telling a story to you guys about our friend Chutney Ginger Fluff
Chutney
in the UK that lives in the Roman Empire.
I'm never going to remember that first name.
Chutney.
Chutney.
Chutney. I think that's how you pronounce it. Chutney.
Like I shut my knee in the door.
That's brilliant. Maybe that's where they got their name.
Oh, he was a kid.
They were holding, yeah. They
The knee in the
right
door.
before they went into the room to deliver the baby.
Chutney.
I shut my knee.
That's it. You shall be called Chutney.
Just to remember this moment that I shut my knee in the door.
All right, time for the story.
All right, you want to kick it off?
Yes.
Where are we going to start?
We're going to explore how he became evil. How about that? I'll give a little.
Okay, yeah, let's
I'll
go.
give a
Let's.
little prompt.
Okay.
So, Chutney Gingerfluff, who lived in the Roman age, was one day going out for his usual morning run. He could run very fast at a young age. Everyone made fun of him, called him long legs for it. He hated it. You want to take over from here?
Okay, so he has long legs and he goes on his evening run. Okay, so a few bullies from school. How was school back then? In their hut. We got
Yes.
the Roman
So,
hut.
A few bullies came from their hut.
Yeah, let's go. And a few bullies came with their father's swords. And he was very terrified of swords.
Very
He
terrible.
was very fast, but he was very terrified of swords.
Okay, so the bullies came out bearing their swords to harm Mr. Chutney Gingerfluff, I would assume, because they're bullies. And yeah, they start pushing and shoving Mr. Gingerfluff around. It's a terrible scene. One cuts him on the right cheek and grants him a scar, so he will forever remember that day. They insult his mother, and he's
What about his last name? Insult his last name. I mean, or that this dude that has almost a female name.
sure no. I'm sticking with it. They they insult his poor mother, and Mr. Gingerfluff is a mama's boy. Okay, he loves his mama, so he fights back.
Fights back. Okay. So he remembers things that his father has told him to be brave and strong against all who bully and are mean to him.
Mhm.
Shortly before that, his father died from shutting his knee in a door.
Which is where he got his name.
And so he remembered these things that his father told him. And he rose up to the occasion of running away and telling his teacher about these bullies with sharp objects, these swords that they're wielding.
He really showed them, didn't he?
He did, but that's all he could do at the time. He realized that his speed, he only had half his speed because of the sharp object. This is when he found out that he was not able to come up against a sword or anything without being touched by the blade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, once he was touched by the blade, he lost some of his
That's right.
his powers.
He's only got half his speed now.
Okay. So he runs away to his teacher, his faithful teacher, or his mentor, who will definitely go with the bullies. But to Mr. Ginger Fluff's surprise, his teacher just says to him, "No wonder they're bullying you, you freak of nature."
And from that point on, he pushed himself, did everything he can, 110%, on being smarter than his teacher.
This is true. This is true.
And he realized that no matter how good a person can be or seem, that it don't matter. No people should be alive. Only him.
Only him.
He wants to conquer the world and make everybody like he is.
Indeed.
In feelings.
And he started with the bullies. And that was the day Mr. Gingerfluff turned to the dark side.
I was about to say dark side.
So that was how
So
Mr.
that's-
Gingerfluff turned. Yes. So,
Wonderful.
yeah.
That was a great background.
That was a
Honestly,
good
that was a good background story. Let's go.
That was super fun. Okay, so I guess that wraps it up for.
Let's do one more. Let's do
One more?
in the future somewhat. Okay, so he said he was intelligent, right?
Yeah, so we've discussed how he became evil. So now we go into the future to see what exactly he's like.
So now he has
he's on
progressed
this evil
his
journey.
speed. He has progressed his speed, and he's super intelligent now.
Mm-hmm.
Smarter than all who oppose him.
Okay. Yeah.
You want to start the scenario?
Sure. Okay, so he's smarter than everybody. He crazy fast, and he is noticed for this by the captain of the guard in his small little village that he lives in. So he's quickly recruited into what they would consider the armed forces back then. And so in the armed forces, he learned all sorts of combat training and learned how to survive and to fight. But he did it with his fists because he could not wield a sharp object, or he would lose some of his power temporarily.
Isn't that how they trained in Roman Empire, though?
Yes, but he was special. We are dealing with Mr. Gingerfluff. This is a special scenario. He's fast as lightning, boy. He can punch.
Okay, so he's in the armed forces.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to take over. He has developed his plans. He wants to take over the UK. Starting with the UK, he wants to take over the UK. So what better way to start with their military?
Very good.
So they go off and into the border of the UK. People are coming in, attacking in the middle of war. And he starts getting... So they're in the middle of war. Everybody's in the middle, and he's, of course, swords flinging everywhere, sounds of iron and metals clashing together. He starts killing people from behind on his own.
Okay.
So he's taking out the army.
So he's flanked them,
He's flanked everybody.
and he's going with it.
And so he was not able to kill everybody. Took 1,200 men down with him before he was captured by his own team.
Okay. Okay. So he flanked his own team.
Yeah, he flanked his own men.
flanked. So he
He killed
betrayed.
1,200 of them.
Okay.
He betrayed his
He
people.
betrayed his own men. I like that. So he betrayed his own men. So they captured him and brought them back to the village where they had. I guess it would be a pretty large village if they had 1,200.
Well, he's
War.
out in war right now.
Okay.
So it's the UK army.
Gotcha. Well, this is the Roman Empire age, so they really.
Well, okay, so you have
UK
his...
was divided by factions.
Yeah, it's... Okay, so...
So he was fighting with his own group, his own
We
his
could
own
lower
people.
the people then.
Yeah, sure.
200
No, it's
men.
fine. They have a big group. They got a big group. They're
It's
they're
like
a big
stinking
people.
city. It's not a town anymore.
They've grown, okay? They've grown over the ages, okay? This is decades later from the small village. It's now booming, okay? And they have now built a castle, okay? So they bring him back to the castle and they house him in their dungeon. And the ruler over them, or I guess he would be considered more of a king or a chief, if you will. I don't know if they had monarchies back then in the Roman age, as far as in the UK. But the ruler of his people came and questioned him on why he would betray his people. And he simply said, because they do not deserve to live under your rule, but under mine. And at that moment, he, with his intelligence beforehand, he had found a way to pry open the bars which were loose, and with his super speed, he snapped the neck of the ruler and king. And at that moment, he made himself ruler, because all who were there feared him. So he is now king over his people. But that's not all.
King.
He wants to keep going and keep expanding and hold the entire known world at that point, or the UK, in his hands.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so we killed the king.
Killed the king.
Or a chief.
Whatever you want to call it.
Whatever you prefer. Okay, so he killed the people. So the first thing he had to do was kill the king's son. He had to find a way to turn the people against the king's son. King's son was so loved by the people that there was no way that everybody was just going to let him rule. So what he did is he put his best man he had at the time. He had his own little small army now.
Right.
He's
Small
planning
little rebellion. Sure,
yeah,
sure.
yeah. He got a small little rebellion. He put his best man against the king's son. And they already built a little Colosseum type thing, so they're about to battle it out in the ring
Gotcha.
to the death.
All right. So, his best man and the king's son are now in the Colosseum, tightly locked in battle, with all the spectators watching. All have come to see which faction shall rise and who shall be the ruler over the people. But, unbeknownst to old Gingerfluff, his best and most trusted man in his rebellion was not a very good fighter.
He forgot to put his best fighter. He put the smartest guy on his team in there.
So, the king's son was easy. It was easy for him to overtake him and kill the most trusted man in Gingerfluff. And Gingerfluff, enraged, now wished to kill him more than ever, but knew he couldn't. But then the king's son did something very, very foolish. Enraged over Gingerfluff's confidence to pit him against one of his most trusted, he called for Gingerfluff to face him himself and called him a coward. And we know Gingerfluff did not like to be called a coward. So, Gingerfluff did the only thing he knew how. Fought with grace and vigor. But he was at a very big disadvantage with the many swords and knives the king's son had at his disposal.
So we're talking like dual-wielding swords here now?
Sure.
Spikes in his sandals?
He's got some knives on his belt, you know.
Okay.
He's a very good fighter.
Where would you keep the belt? So I'm picturing this king's son in like a Roman's warrior's armor.
Sure.
So that's what I'm picturing. So okay. Are we? So he does have a knife belt. This is interesting.
He came prepared. Okay, everyone knows Gingerfluff. They know his weakness.
Okay, so everybody knows his weakness.
Yeah. I mean, you know, he was bullied, and then you know. He's
okay, that's a good twist. I like that.
Yeah. So
everybody knows his weakness, and he goes up against the king's son himself.
He goes up against the king's son himself.
And his power is only weakened if he is touched by the blade.
Yes.
So the only thing he can do to match this dude without only his speed and intelligence
Mm-hmm.
is to use only to him is his weakness. He picks up a sword.
Mm.
First time ever in his life. Never touching
Okay.
the blade.
Okay.
And he goes at it with them.
Mm-hmm.
They're hitting each other. He's hitting his metal. He can't ever get him. Ginger Fluff didn't have any armor on at the time.
Mm.
So he's using only his speed to dodge. And
Okay.
parrying this guy's swords.
Mm-hmm.
But he remembers he sits and watch the king's son train every day before this battle.
Very good.
And so he finally finds a spot where he can slash him through his armor, right where the shoulder plate and his chest plate are.
Okay. So he
He's about to strike him
strike
with the
him.
sword.
Okay. So he's about to strike him in the only opening he saw in his armor. But right before that, one of the spectators who hated Ginger Fluff, actually it was his teacher, brought a bow and arrow into the stand
Uh-oh.
and released an arrow towards Ginger Fluff. And this arrow nicked him on his own shoulder. And we all know sharp objects is his weakness.
So he's got like half his speed now.
He has half his speed, and he is at a very big disadvantage. So he misses the shoulder and it doesn't hurt the king's son. So the king's son's getting all cocky because he knows, he's gonna beat him now. But the teacher does another stupid thing and releases a second arrow. Well, this time Ginger Fluff is ready for it and has still enough speed to catch the arrow before it gets to him. And he takes that arrow and flings it at the king's son. And the king's son is all cocky and doesn't expect it and shoots him right between the eyes.
And kills him.
And Ginger Fluff is the winner.
So Ginger Fluff is now taking over the city.
Ginger Fluff has now taken over his countrymen and is ruler over his people.
All right, so he's standing in the middle. He's standing in the middle of the arena
Uh-huh.
with the sword that he has in his hand held high,
Mm-hmm.
saying, "All ye shall bow to him,
Mm-hmm.
that he is ruler and king."
Mm-hmm.
So he plans an attack to go against the people who they were starting the battle with.
Okay.
So he enraged. He starts another battle with the same people he fought
With the
before.
same people before he betrayed.
Betrayed his own men.
So, yeah.
So, because he wants to take over that country now.
Mm-hmm.
So
They're-
he's
they're
on
the-
to bigger things.
They're the people of the East, let's say.
People of the East. Let's go.
Okay.
So, he goes to the east of his country,
Mm-hmm.
starts a war, and all of the archers in the back
Mm-hmm.
of the enemy team, they line up all the archers, both sides, and they fling
They fling arrow after arrow.
arrow after arrow, arrows lying all around him,
Mm-hmm. Very good.
until a guy hit him
Finally hit him.
right through the heart.
Mm. That was when Mr. Ginger Fluff took his last breath. His lust for power and greed for the throne and expansion finally caught up with him. Lying there, taking his last few breaths, he looked around him. All his soldiers and his rebels lying dead on the floor. He the only one left. It was a lonely life. One not worth it in the end.
And that was the story
That was the story
of Shutney
Shutney
Ginger Fluff.
So there
That
you
was
have it.
fun.
That was very fun.
That was fun. I liked it.
That
So
was super, super fun.
let us know down in the comments how y'all like this video, and if we should do more. We would love to do more just stories, and I mean we'd go crazy with this thing.
We have several other stuff on the list up for
and we will roll for beings.
yes. Oh, we didn't roll for beings. No wonder.
No wonder. Yeah, it did a little bit. It did a little bit. So this one was human.
This one was human. Okay. All right. Yeah, we have a whole setup here. We have lots of different ways to go about it. Sadly, we missed a step, which was beings. We could have voted a dragon, an elf. I mean, human was one of them. I guess we just assumed that he was a human in the end. But we have a whole different choices to go down. And so many rabbit holes.
For sure.
So if you guys like this and want to see more stuff like this, let us know down in the comments below. It's a good break from just our normal, everyday myths.
Gives us a chance to be creative, and possibly we'll get feedback from y'all too. If y'all want to help out with some of the stuff that give ideas on beings, time zones, weaknesses, abilities,
all of it.
let us hear it in the comments.
Yeah.
We will definitely throw some in. We want to try to get as creative as possible in these.
Oh yeah, and
so,
the wackier the better. 'Cause,
exactly.
who knows where we'll go at that point. So yeah.
See you on the trail to the next myth.